Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Some more of the narcissist control tactics. That is haughty behavior and conceited attitude. These are just some everyday adjectives that we can use to describe a narcissist, but what we really need to understand is how they use this approach in order to control others. A haughty behavior, haughty attitude, H-A-U-G-H-T-Y, basically means that they're arrogantly superior and disdainful. So it's not as if they're accomplished in their own right and they're able to lead by example, positive example, by accomplishments. Think of a leader who you admire who is humble, the humble leader, the humble servant, someone who is not arrogant, egotistical, but they have accomplished things, but they're still a down-to-earth person. They're still a good person. They still have a conscience. They still have a heart. The narcissist will control by haughty behaviors and condescending and conceited attitudes and act out of disdain. That means disdain means to really look down and sort of a vengeful, revengeful, sort of suspicious attitude. To treat someone with disdain is to put them down, to oppress them, and to really ultimately hurt them. So just to be a leader doesn't mean that you exploit your position. It doesn't mean you exploit your power. People of all different walks of life can be a narcissist, from a doctor to a lawyer to a therapist to a CEO to a CFO, IT person. They are really in all walks of life, and especially when they're in your personal household, when they're in your hearth and home, it can be very difficult and devastating to try to deal with this if you don't have the tools and knowledge of this, kind of entering into the relationship. So their arrogance at first might have seemed attractive, or that might have been the original facade that they had presented to you, where they were kind of like maybe the leader in the relationship, the yang in the relationship, the one who was a little bit more forthright, outgoing. You kind of took a back seat, things worked out. Maybe this person was exciting to you, and you accepted the behavior of this person and thought, well, I'm marrying up, or I'm dating up, or this is my superior and I don't mind being kind of underneath them, under their wings, so to speak. However, it becomes very damaging when this person, once they get you under their control and under their guise, it's very damaging when they begin to manipulate and control, not for your own best good, but as a way of keeping you down and stifled, so that you can't really pursue your best interests, your interests. You don't have equal footing in the relationship. You in fact tend to regress in the relationship. In fact, a lot of narcissists will tend to have a goal or an objective to kind of minimize or regress people in their stature in life. In other words, keep them under their foot, keep them as a walking mat, so that they're not able to really pursue their interests, pursue their best objectives. And in essence, they're keeping them down, they're keeping them oppressed. They sabotage them. When they're, in the middle of a project, they will constantly call them, constantly text them. They're on a business trip, and or you're on a business trip, you're pursuing a college degree, you're trying to pursue something that's very important to you, and they'll keep interfering, they'll keep asking for attention, and they'll come across as if they're the ones who are more important to the relationship than you. So you end up sabotaging your career, sabotaging your friendships, sabotaging your family, sabotaging things that were important to you, and you don't even realize that it's taken right away from you without even your notice, and it's done usually on a very gradual basis. So you have to become aware that this person is undermining you, undermining you, which means to kind of get underneath your skin, so to speak, and derail you, seek to sabotage you, and they do it in a very calculated, really sort of conscious manner. And good relationships, healthy relationships, fair relationships, and beneficial relationships aren't set up that way. They're patient, they're kind, they're understanding, and they're, number one, they're supportive. They're supportive of you, they're understanding of you, they have a compassion of you, hence what we call empathy. You understand that this person is going to an event. You understand that you respect them. You understand that they have boundaries, and you don't call them in the middle of a meeting. You don't text them on their way to work. You don't have these unrealistic expectations of them, and you give them fairness, you give them space. This is the components and the mechanisms of a healthy, functioning relationship, and not one that is out of balance by a narcissist control tactic of haughty behavior, arrogance, and conceit. Oftentimes these people will attain or seek to put a facade of this sort of arrogance in the relationship without even having earned it. So be careful of that, because they do try to formulate and concoct and create this persona for you in the relationship to make you less than, to make you subservient, when you're not really just like looking up to them. They're really taking advantage of you and controlling you and keeping you down. Learn to identify the difference, and instead live happy, live empowered, and live more positive emotions, and come from a more positive space in your life that's more pure and energized, versus under the control of a toxic manipulator, such as we see in the oppressive narcissist who seeks to control you by being conceited, haughty, and arrogant. There are other ways, there are other relationships that can be better for you. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share, please subscribe, and help those people in need. Please stay tuned to more videos for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.